is a presentation of TFNN. Before 9 with John Logan. 9 minutes on the stock market before 9 a.m. every trading day. Call now, toll free, 877-927-6648 or internationally, 727-445-1044. Now, John Logan.
Hi guys, thanks for joining me this morning. Got some things happening. Let's just go over them really quick in 9 minutes. S&Ps talked about, being able to hopefully lever against that 2341. But always you got to be aware of these long-term profiles, daily and weekly. So here's the daily, kind of met the targets 2330.31 down below yesterday, low of the day 2331. So bouncing up into that 2341, which is that weekly unfair low. We've got our scanner down right now for the next hour or two, so I'm not going to reference that right now to try to get a look at some of the breath statistics that happened. Got a really cool S&P product coming off of that scanner, spinning it off a 30-minute breath calculation that uses real-time boxes that is in a separate product and updates about every 5 seconds. So that's going to be kind of a short-term tie to the marketplace product that I think you're going to enjoy. If you don't have the big scanner, feel free to get a trial of it. Let's take a look at oil. Let's just keep moving forward here. And oil, man, just really shocking move down. 51.16, top of the box on the weekly profile. I tried to take a shot at that. It's okay. Now we're back in the box. If we have a Friday close back in the profile, reversing back in, that's going to be pretty big bad news there. I will say this, though. Looking at 51.16 on that weekly, a lot of times when we kind of traverse and break and just had an all-out sell-off. Today we open up and rally back up into that high of 50.97, so kind of closed below yesterday on the daily, retrace back up into that big number 51.16, that general neighborhood. Now we've kind of started to sell off again, so that's going to be a little bit of a lid here for shorts. 51.16 on May crude. Let's hit gold really quick. So, we talked quite a bit previous 2 days about the gold trade, 3 days actually, the gold trade over at 1300. Just sit tight. Let's wait for some new support areas to hit. Yesterday we talked about either breakouts above 1292.5 or support down into this 1273 area. We reached a low of 1275. So again, in a volatile product that's kind of on the move, you're not going to get it to the tick all the time, but this is a great situation that we talked about still blocking out the short side, not really wanting to be short at 1300, except for you ultra short-term day traders, but waiting patiently until you can either back and fill or break out. So this is another great example. Again, new supply happened, offered some support, talked about the dollar a little bit here, that 99.63.64 area. So here's where we're at with the dollar. Weekly close below there is going to be huge, but seemingly looking now at that, talked about that 99.63 area being targets on the short. If you can see this, lower highs kind of crowding. It looks to me that 97.14.15 is going to be easily in order. And I want you to look and see how, after we pierced this 2 days ago, kind of rally back up in that 99.63.64 area. Can't get through it and starting to just kind of consolidate here. That's not what you want to see from the long side. When you are looking at something from the long side, you want to see it get away from these inflection points, and obviously that's not happening. So kind of crowd it, let's consolidate, trading below that unfair high 99.63. The writing is kind of on the wall for this to head a little bit farther south, in my opinion. So not the one to try to pick up on sale. The 10-year, interesting little trade here that hopefully you guys paid attention to, getting up into 126.23, that neighborhood, and that was the next chance to try to pick a battle. Hadn't been really in favor of trading the 10-year, missed an entirely decent move after that reversal back in the profile, but that was the the place to pick a battle. We talked about that weekly unfair high. I almost hit it to the tick there. Let me see what that was. 126. Don't want to waste time on it. 126.20 got 3 ticks from that high and backed off about a handle there. So decent little place to pick a battle. We're going to go back to copper. One that I've been kind of looking at, waiting patiently for it to gravitate back above 2.577. That's not happening. A couple other things on the screen today. We're going to take a look at the Nasdaq really quick. Obviously a higher beta, if you will, than the S&Ps, and we're kind of crowding back up into 54.41. This is definitely not the index to be shorting right now, and could lead the S&Ps higher. But again, you've got to look at that range, 23.41, 23.30. That's the range. Any breakouts above or below, I think some things might get carried away on the S&Ps. All right, we're going to take a look at Apple here, and then we're going to hit November beans really quick. So Apple talked about, again, waiting patiently, 138.33. That's still the stance on that particular stock. I'm pulling it up because it's got a massive market capitalization. And I thought you guys would always want to know what Apple's doing. It's sometimes leads the market, as you can see. 961.5 approximately is where we're at right now. So, we talked about diving back in the box here on the daily. So 960.5, approximately 951.25 down below. We've kind of traversed these two inflection points. Pretty thin fair auction, I will add. I'm not huge on being long beans, but buying some lottery tickets while this thing's consolidating up top might not be a bad idea, based on a gentleman, John from Philadelphia, that had called in and just kind of given the discourse on that. Not a bad idea. Just, again, if it happens, we're probably looking at spikes, as he had stated so eloquently, relative to kind of a grind down in this particular product this time of year. So, again, that should be a part of your portfolio. And again, taking a look at the VIX, nothing doing here. You want to see this thing get back above around 1463. That's the drill on the VIX. Silver, really quick, kind of reached our targets down below that weekly unfair high. So gold got a nice little bounce here, and our weekly unfair highs are holding on silver around that 1815 area, trading a little above there. So not a bad looking little situation, blocking out the short side still on silver. All right. Thanks for joining us this morning. Larry's next. All the hosts on TFNN, make sure you tune in, get all the perspectives, let all the different outlooks line up, and hopefully slow your trading down a little bit and put some high probability setups on. Thanks, guys.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.